How are you both?
I'm alright.
I'm alright.
I've ordered takeaway and it was supposed to arrive half an hour ago.
Oh no, what'd you order?
Chicken.
A whole chicken, just a raw, like just an alive chicken.
There should be an option on like those like really cheap chicken takeaway places. There should be an option that's just like food, and it's like 15 quid, and you just press that. You don't have to think about it, and they just bring you a whole bunch of stuff. Like
even go for it.
That's all I want.
I was gonna say, you'd get like chicken testicles and pig's feet. It'd be like, it's edible.
Yeah, Steve, do you think in those cheap chicken takeaways they're plucking and preparing their own chickens?
Yeah, my doner kebab's not Wagyu beef. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Don't ruin the fantasy for me. It's delicious chicken breast.
Chunky Chippy down the corner is out. He's got his like kennel out the back where he keeps all his chickens.
The Deliveroo KFC is the rats that jump in the deep fry when they're not looking.
Sorry, Sam, you're just about to eat takeaway as well.
Yeah, enjoy your takeaway, by the way. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, even Netflix has just a button that says, fuck it, I'll watch anything. I don't care.
Wait,
I came up with that idea.
Where's this button?
It's like when you first load in, I think it's like under your account picture. It says
under my
like,
account picture.
Like show me
manage
anything.
Account. It's got manage profiles, account, help center.
We always watch.
Is this on mobile or?
I don't know where it is on mobile. We watch Netflix from our TV. It's like built in.
It's probably a per app thing. Yeah.
New and popular. My list. Browse by languages. Yeah, no, I don't have that.
It must be there somewhere. Why would you want that though? It's like there's so much.
Watch anything.
There's so much garbage on Netflix, right?
I don't know. I presume it's like based on your recommendations, right? So it will show you something. That's how I would do it.
No, they need to do a random.
I don't think it would be literally anything.
I didn't think of any sort of algorithm. I just thought it would just literally put its hand in a bag.
The million shows they have, just one.
Yeah, but that could be fun. Like you each have to watch one thing recommended by Netflix is random algorithm. Just one. You got to suffer for it, no matter what it is.
Statistically, it'll probably be some kind of murder documentary about how someone killed their neighbor.
No, statistically, it'll be a comedian special.
Yeah. You go on like UK trending for Netflix, it's always murder docs. Always.
Yeah.
Murder docs.
Just quickly phoning up to see what my food is, and then I'm ready.
So good. Yeah, murder docs, comedian specials, or something that Netflix that people have put out that people love that they've cancelled. Yeah, so it's murder docs, comedian specials, or dash hopes and dreams.
Speaking of murder docs, I saw a great tweet the other day that was like, imagine getting tragically murdered and then years and years later you're part of a YouTube documentary where someone's eating like Raycons and stuff.
Is this the Internet Historian Whole video? And that's really
specific. I haven't seen that. I haven't watched that yet.
By then it will be like, hi, today we're trying out this new makeup and talking about this idiot who died.
I watched all of Internet Historian's video on the guy that just got stuck in a hole.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome. It's
wait, was his step sibling not there to help him out?
No, you don't want to. Okay, if you watch that video, the first thing he does is he explains the hole, right? Which sounds stupid, but like, look, this is where the person got stuck. It is insane. Like, it's like, well, what did you expect? It's so fucking small. It's insane.
Oh, it's such a tight hole.
No!
I'm sorry.
I now want to start even though Sam's not here, because that's really Oh. No, I'll wait for Sam to come back. It's not fair.
Okay.
Everything here is now fluff because I'm just going to chop out this so I can have that as the intro.
Oh, wait, you're cutting all this out? Okay, I'm going to take this time to complain about Edge Runners, okay? Because everyone's treating this show like it's the second coming of Jesus.
We do have a section
I'm halfway through, by the way, before you spoil it.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil anything because I am also halfway through.
Okay.
But I don't get it. It's like, okay, it looks really good. Like, I think I like Franz Ferdinand and all that. but it's just telling the most like generic anime story I've ever seen.
Mate, you just hate anime. That's all it is.
I do hate anime.
That's all
You're
it
right.
is. I'm not even like joking. It's just like if you don't like anime,
but, like I like this.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Like, I like this. I like Yu-Gi-Oh. I like Pokemon.
I love Pokemon.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's weird.
Shit.
I just can't get into it.
I'm really enjoying it.
I haven't started it yet. I'm as I said, I'm halfway through episode 6 of House of Dragons. I think I know I'm up to date with She-Hulk. I'm up to date with Rings of Power.
Oh, I haven't watched the new She-Hulk. I went to like, I think I thought it. I gave it a thought. I was like, I should watch it, and I thought I can't be bothered. I'm just.
We literally watched it 10 minutes before I came here.
Yeah,
and I feel I'm like. This is fun, but this show doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. Or if it is, it's taking its sweet time to get there.
I like that because every other show at the moment is very like serious, like end of the world, and She-Hulk's just like, she's working with what's her name?
You go on any like Reddit or social media, which I know is a terrible idea, but every new episode that drops, everyone's just going, "Where the fuck is Daredevil?" Every single episode.
Because I thought they teased him weeks ago, and they haven't.
They did. They had his hat in a bin.
Yeah,
well, he's trying to find his way, but he can't because he's blind.
He's like sitting on a chair, like, okay, I'm ready for my scene. He's like just sat in a Primark somewhere.
They're like, go stand on the X, and he runs off the side of a cliff.
Who was it? Who was it I was talking to about the original Daredevil show? And it was someone it was when it was out back at uni or whatever. And it was like, I was talking with them, and they were like, this is gonna sound, this is a stupid question. Do you think it's easier to get a person with vision and train them to act like they're blind, or get a person who's blind to train them to act like
no joke, I saw a bunch of shit about how after working on Daredevil, he had to retrain to like look at people in the eye when he acts.
I saw that as well. Yeah.
Because
he kept looking past people when he was
Oh, it's amazing. It's so good. Because like you can't even be mad at him.
What a super
where they like,
strange...
just open your eyes, you can see. You're not actually blind.
Blind people don't have their eyes closed, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so dumb.
What a strange niche talent, because he's really good at it. Like, I'm convinced that he's blind, right? So, like, what a weird niche talent.
I've just had a thought of every time Steve goes to bed at night, closes his eyes, he's like, oh, blind.
It's scary.
What if I never see again? It's like, open your eyes, Steve. Stop crying. Oh my god, Sam, hurry up. This is all fucking cold.
Every time he blinks.
I've been back when he started the story.
Every time Steve blinks. He's like, huh.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm going to cry. Oh my god, that's really funny. Oh, hello, everybody.
That's so stupid.
Welcome to the Game FourCast, the weekly podcast where we get together and chat about what we've been playing and what we've been looking up news for the week. My name is Josh, aka BottlerWorks. I'm here with Olive Meister Will.
Hello, my name is Olive Meister and or Will.
And Quikwix Steve.
Hi, my name is Steve, and I'm the reason your dad left and the reason you're left-handed.
And Sam. Sammeh. That's gross.
Sam.
Oh. I need to calm. I'm like bright red. I'm like a fucking tomato. I need to calm down for it. Oh. Sam, tell me about World of Warcraft.
Okay, right. First things first. My game this week isn't going to be World of Warcraft.
What the what? Oh, okay. Are you letting it simmer?
Well, I mean, I could go on and on, but I'll give the quick update. World of Warcraft, I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah,
because it launched, right?
It's out, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I brought
it up, played it this entire week. The raid comes out this Thursday.
Yeah. That's at Nax.
Yeah, Naxxramas.
Won't that be all 3 raids?
Naxxramas, Malagos, and Sartharian.
Yeah. Those were great because it was just one boss, so it's like, rather than being like, oh, I need to go do like a whole 12 bosses, it could just say, oh, let's queue up for this one boss, or not queue up.
Oh, no, I never liked the one boss raids. I thought they were lame.
So
I like the adventure.
there's one of them, the Sartharian, where he's got like 3 drakes.
Yeah.
And basically, the more drakes you kill, the less loot you get.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
can like go around and kill them off on their own, or you can hard mode it.
I like that. Like the option of doing it.
I'm looking forward to how that goes.
I did that when it was like on live, and I solo healed that like SAR 3D with my guild, and I actually won the mount that you get from that. And I was the only person who didn't have like the super fast flying, so I had to grind in a week just to make sure people weren't going to stab me in the back for getting
getting a mount that you can't use.
Yeah.
But no, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. We've done all heroic difficulty dungeons for the past 3 days now.
Yeah.
And the past 2 days, I've got 0 loot.
Oh no!
Day 1, I was like, "Oh my god, upgrades for days!" And then yesterday it was like nothing dropped, and today it was like 2 things dropped, and I didn't win the roll over the rando. So it's I want to make sure I'm all pimped out because everyone else is like, "Oh, I've only got 2 bits to get," and I'm now like, "Oh, I've only got 9 bits to get."
You're still basically running all Burning Crusade gear.
It's like I could walk into a raid as I am now. I'm just not in the best I could get.
Yeah,
is the issue, and I want to be in the best gear I can get. But no, WoW's going great. I'm enjoying it, and I've hit the point now where I log on. I spend like 20 minutes doing auction house stuff, 10 minutes doing dailies. We crack out the heroics, and then I actually have time to play other games again.
Yeah, actually play JRPGs, your favourite.
Yeah, which leads me on to the game that I've somehow spent far too much time into this week, which is Across the Obelisk.
Across the Obelisk?
Yes. So the biggest, like the easiest way to describe this game, which is a disservice to it, is to call it like Slay the Spire.
Okay.
Go on.
It's a deck building card game, but you have a party of 4 that you make your party at the start.
Right.
And you only start with 1 like warrior type dude, 1 scout type dude, 1 mage, and 1 like support healer type dude. And as you progress through the game, you can do quests for people to unlock that character for future runs.
It does look very Slay the Spire. I know you said not to, but like
it
graphically,
is. So again, it's hard not to call it Slay the Spire, but it is so. It's the easiest way to describe it while also being so far off base at the same time.
Also, it's Darkest Dungeon as well.
Yeah, so it's like a mixture between those two. The best thing about this game and how I've done 2 6-hour play sessions of this game is it's multiplayer. So my first session, I controlled 2 characters. My friend Lewis controlled 1, and my friend Stewie controlled 1.
Okay.
And I was under the impression that we would play for about an hour or 2 and then probably die. We did not die. We completed the first run, which was 6 hours. And then the other day, me and Stewie did another run. And Stewie said the stupid thing of, "Oh, I don't need to go to bed till like 4 o'clock. Haha, it won't last that long." Needless to say, we also finished that run. But no, this game is great. So it has, it does a very good thing of like, based on what class you are, you have a large selection of cards that they can get from that class.
Right.
And then there's a couple of like hero specific cards as well. And then you go through, and the more fights you do and everything and clear zones, you get EXP and you level up, and each character has their own like talent tree, I guess.
So with this image here, very quickly, with this image here on the left, is each one of these a real player? Like, you know,
so that could be.
Yeah. Okay.
It could be one person controlling 4 people, or that could be 4 different people controlling 4 different characters.
Okay.
And so it goes off a speed mechanic. So each character, based on your speed, the faster you are, the sooner you go in the turn order.
Yeah.
you have to kind of like, again, very Slay the Spire. You need to find out who's the damage dealer out of the enemy for, who's the healer out of the enemy for. But there's so many builds you can do. And then the roguelike aspect is once you finish a run, you get perk points to spend for each character to then like amp up that guy. So like my guy's like all range damage he now deals is like +2. And whenever he gains the stealth buff, he gains an extra stack of it or something like that. So future runs, he's now pimped out a bit.
It actually sounds and looks a little bit like Darkest Dungeon in a way as well.
What's the game called again? This actually looks kind of cool.
Across the Obelisk.
It is, but it's the easiest way to describe it is a mix between Slay the Spire and Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah.
But it does such a good job of making maybe not each character in a class feels unique, even though they are, because they all get different perks down the line.
Yeah.
So that you have different like builds you can do with them. But like one of my characters in my current run, I'm building as a mana battery. So their entire job is to say, I get the mana for my turn, now I give it to someone else so they can have a bigger turn.
Right.
And that's their entire job. But you'll go through and there'll be like combat tiles and like story tiles and stuff like that.
There was an image here somewhere of what you're describing. Let me find it, of like just like a map with different tiles. There you go. So it's like this.
And then some tiles, it's like based on what characters you've got, you can like avoid combat.
Yeah.
Or the combat's easier, or you'll get a quest item. Or you'll get a curse, negative stuff like that. It's if you've played Darkest Dungeon / Slay the Spire type games, you know what you're getting into. But it's multiplayer, which is fantastic. It was really enjoyable to play.
Yeah.
B, it's very like, although it's very strategical, you can literally just go like harder. I'm a fire mage, I collect fire spells, I cast fire spells, and just blitz your way through the game.
I kind of like that in games. Again, sort of thing about like Slay the Spire, where it's like I don't get very deep into those games. I normally play them for like a little bit, but I'm like, I'm gonna do this run, and I'm gonna do nothing but build armor, or I'm gonna do nothing but build like bleed in my cards. I just end up like a really hyper focused.
You might come up against the specific mobs, which just absolutely counter you, and it fucks you. But then you might not.
Yeah. It's all RNG. You just roll the dice.
Yeah. If you put all your eggs in one basket, then eventually you will come up against mobs that are like highly resistant to your strategy or absolutely fuck you. But then that can happen if you don't have a strategy and you have 4 different type of playstyles going on. You could easily just get mowed down by a really like damage heavy comp or a really heal heavy comp or something like that. But the other thing which is kind of cool is the maps themselves don't change, but I think that the tiles might run to run, or they might not, because I can hover over some tiles and it will tell me what mobs I'll fight there because I've been there before in previous runs.
Yeah.
But what I don't know is are there any modifiers on that tile? Is there going to be a check that I have to pass to make it harder or easier and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So I can see like, oh, this tile's going to have 3 walls in, but there could be a modifier where it's like, oh, all those walls deal extra physical damage or something, and that bit's unique to each run. Whereas the map itself and the tiles you travel to, I think can be quite static.
Where's the end of this run, by like this map I'm looking at here? Is it this bit here?
So you've got the boss, which is the skull.
Right, okay.
And then the map piece is that's you moving on to the next area.
Oh, okay.
Can you beat a run? Is it winnable like Slay the Spire?
Yeah. So the only 2 runs I've played, I've completed both of them, beat the final boss both times.
6 hours is long for a roguelike procedural game, right? That seems crazy to me.
I've been told every time that it should not take that long. But again, my first run was my first run, so I'm reading every card. I'm reading all the abilities and reading all the perks.
That's the fucking Rick and Morty meme of like, quick, in and out, 20-minute adventure, let's go. And they're like, oh my god!
The second time, I expected it to be faster, and we felt like we were going faster. It still took 6 hours.
Yeah.
But no, this game has been a blast. I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. The issue I had is I played the first session the day before WoW launched. So the
Right.
entire time I was playing WoW, I was like, man, I really want to
Yeah.
play more across the Obelisk, but I've got to hit level cap.
Could be playing real video games, but I've got to play WoW instead. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, I've had a blast. This game's great.
It sounds really good. This is
thoroughly
the
recommend
type of like game where I would never normally buy this sort of thing, but if this dropped on like a Game Pass or something, or like Epic, I'd be like, yeah, I'll check that out.
I don't think I think it's like 15 quid. Yeah,
16.99.
I think I picked it up on sale.
Yeah, probably like
But,
launch 10% off or something.
Yeah.
Oh, is it new? Sorry. Oh, 2021.
April.
That's old.
Yeah, this game's been out a while.
Yeah, it's not new.
But it came to my attention. I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
So,
Well, it's like you said before. You're very social with your games.
yeah, I'm thoroughly again. I have started a single player, but the 2 times I played it were multiplayer because that's the appeal.
Yeah.
To me.
Cool.
So yeah,
You got
you
any
weren't expecting that.
got any final words, or do you want to pass the ball?
No, I'm happy. I think this game's great and WoW's enjoyable.
Yeah.
My takeaway
Yeah.
still isn't here.
I'll turn up. Don't worry about it, man. Don't let it get to you. You can hear the
Just a
sadness in
quick
your voice.
update.
your takeaway.
Do we
will
think
come.
it will show up before the end of the podcast?
If it doesn't, I'll cry for Sam. All right. What you been playing, Will?
Most of this week, me and Aaron have been continuing our GloomHaven adventure.
Ooh.
That game continues to get bigger. We've unlocked a lot of classes now, and there's a whole bunch of new mechanics that just slowly keep, revealing themselves. At one point, it stopped us and said, "Oh, you don't know how to breathe." Like this is like this exploration, board game RPG.
Yeah.
And at one point, it stopped us and went, "Oh, you don't know how to breathe underwater yet? Please come back." And we were like, all right, I don't know what that means, but I'm excited to find out where that's going.
Also a Metroidvania. What the fuck?
Yeah, right. So before, one of the criticisms I had was like, you have your deck. So this is like turn-based, card-based almost, and you have your deck of cards, and it kind of just stays the same. You unlock new cards as you level up, but they don't get your starting cards don't get more powerful. Until couple 10, 15 hours in, they were like, here's this new merchant. You can go there and you put I guess in real life it would be little stickers, but in the game it's just like now you can just change what your cards do. So it's like and it'll be like, oh, you want to add +1 attack to this attack card? You can do that. If you want to make it poison people or wound people or stun them or whatever,
keeps getting deeper.
It just keeps going. We're still unlocking classes. We're still getting quests to unlock new classes that we don't know what they are. And it was like Erin got home from work on Thursday and she was like, GloomHaven? And I was like, yeah, GloomHaven, let's go. So, and we just can't stop playing it. It's fantastic. This is like out of nowhere. This is like one of my favorite games I've played this year. Easily.
So good when that happens. Like just game of the year comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I paid nothing for it. It's so good.
Thanks, Mr. Epic.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Epic. That's GloomHaven. I have no complaints. Sam, have you tried this yet? Did you even claim it?
No.
I'm so disappointed because you were explaining Across the Obelisk just then, and I was like, this sounds a lot like GloomHaven.
You should play GloomHaven.
You probably play GloomHaven if you like Across the Obelisk. But yeah, anyway, GloomHaven, I'm continuing to play. I'm going to keep playing. We just unlocked the Bard, and his cards do songs. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to find out. But the game I played it off stream for a bit, and then I streamed it on Friday afternoon, is called Despot's Game, which
looks a lot of fun.
Is ages back, there was a bunch of auto battlers came out, as you know, the era of auto battlers that came and went. In a couple months.
Can you name them all?
There was the original. Fuck, what was the original
What was the
called? Me and
original
Sam
called?
played it.
Yeah.
Auto chess.
Auto chess.
Auto chess. That was it. That was the original. And then from Auto chess, there was TFT
Yeah,
and
team fight tactics.
Dota Underlords.
Dota, yeah, that's the one.
And then
There are a whole bunch of other
I don't
weird
know,
ones
just
as well.
a whole
yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of knockoffs. Yeah,
Hearthstone.
millions of them.
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone did one.
Hearthstone Battlegrounds, yeah.
Yeah,
I missed that.
very technically. Yeah.
Yeah, by Luce's definition.
Yeah. But anyway, when Dota Underlords came out, they did this like it was kind of like an adventure game where you would build a team and then you'd have to like unlock units as you went and then use those units to do like harder challenges and stuff.
Right.
And this is kind of, and at the time I was like, that's really clever. I bet someone will make a game out of this. And that's kind of what this is. It's a roguelike auto battler where the setup is it's the distant future. All humans have been like, I don't like enslaved almost, I think. And there's a really bored supercomputer who just wants to run you through kind of like Hunger Games. He just kind of wants to,
That's like
mess with you.
I have no mouth and I must scream. Do you know the concept of that? Where it's just like a computer that's just got the 4 last humans and he just fucks with them because he's bored and hates humans.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's what this is. Apparently it's a series of games starring this Despot, but this is the first one I've played. So the setup is you start off with a small party of guys, and then as you progress through, there's multiple rooms. Rooms make up a floor, and at the end of the floor there's a boss. You beat the boss, descend a room, keep doing that until you beat the final boss, and that's like your roguelike run.
Right.
And your party is made up of these little orange humans. They're really well animated, and you give them items to change their classes, basically, like you would have units in another auto battler.
Yeah.
So and every unit, it has a type, like whether it's like a brawler or a fighter, a gunner, whatever you want to call it. And the more of that type you have, the more powerful that type becomes. They unlock more perks and things. So on Friday we had a fun run where I had a bunch of tanks up the front, a bunch of healers stood behind them, and then it was just all ranged gunners behind them, just as many as we could cram in, and ended up beating the run in one go, which I didn't expect. It took a couple of hours, I think, but it was a lot of fun. And they have a good little Twitch integration where it pulls from your viewers and subscribers, and
that's always fun.
Every little man is named after someone. So we had like somebody died early on, and the whole rest of the run was dedicated to do it for him, sort of thing.
I never did it, but I liked how like Cult of the Lamb and stuff like that is always just like, here are just people that are just called people from Twitch chat.
It's such a little such a little thing. Like it doesn't like you can't do it doesn't do commands or anything, but it's just literally like every time a new human would pop up and be like, oh, who's this? And it's like, hey, it's this guy. He's from chat. He's in the game. And like, cool. Send him to the front. Watch him get eaten by this giant demon. So that's fun. It's very full of pop culture references. I think even in this screenshot you can see there's a Sailor Moon. There's Dr. Octavia's arms. There's a grav gun as the TF2 engineer. The more I look at it, the more I see.
There's two Saitamas from One Punch Man. There's one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't see that. Yeah.
He's right there.
So it's chock full of that, and there's loads of little events that happen, and one of them was like, oh, some guy crawls out of the floor, and he's like, oh, I've just escaped from hell, and like as you're reading it, you're like, oh, it's Hades, and then you recruit him, and it's like, sure enough, it's Zagreus, and he's got his sword, and he's here to help you, sort of thing.
Are you allowed to just do that in your game? Just rip other characters?
I assume so. Right?
Because like, I'm sitting here like kind of, haha, yeah, but can you just do that?
I guess it's no worse than like
parody, right? It's like parody.
Yeah, name dropping people and stuff.
I suppose,
I don't think it's like parody almost. Yeah. So it's pretty good. The only problems I had with is when I played it, I played through on easy, but without realizing it, and I was like, that was a good challenge. We had to make some decisions, but we came through at the end. And I've since played a couple rounds on normal, and it's balls hard. I don't know how you would finish this game
with great difficulty
on normal. Yeah, apparently, yeah. Maybe my builds are just crap. I was never particularly great at auto battlers, to be fair. So maybe that's my problem. But And the other thing is, I feel like there's not enough variety. Maybe it's because I'm lacking like unlocks and stuff, because it is a roguelike, so it is
you
like
gotta play
every time
forever.
I fail a run, it's like, hey, you've unlocked some more stuff. But it's like, in when you were playing like TFT or something, you would be like, I'm gonna go 6 mage, I'm gonna go 10 tank, or whatever, whatever.
You somewhat plan it out before you go
exactly. And then like you would be playing through and somebody would be doing something and you'd be like, oh, that looks fun, I'll try that next time, right? There's like 9 types in this, and it feels like it's quite easy to get your type like completed. Like we went for gunners, and it was pretty easy to just have that online within a couple of floors, right? Like we had all the bits we needed, sort of thing. And it's not like there are other players taking your pieces, so you have to strategize around like, oh, there's 9 people going fucking yordles in this one. I need to switch. I need to pivot off of this and try something else because I'm not going to get the bits I need. This is like you just sort of, there is rarity in items, but it's not difficult to get. I feel like to get the bits that you need, sort of thing.
Right.
So I'm not sure if it has, unless I'm missing like something. I'm not sure it has longevity in the different builds you can make. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm just not very good at the game.
There's nothing wrong with a game just being, fun for a little bit, and then you're like, that was good.
But there is a PvP portion of the game, which is the weird twist that happened. Is we finished the run, and then this like league screen popped up with a whole bunch of people's usernames, and then it was like, okay, now you're gonna fight, the 80th ranked guy in your league, and it was like, okay, I don't know where this is going. Oh, we wiped the floor with everyone. It was so easy. But and then so I won that league, and it was like, oh, hey, good job for winning, but you were playing easy, so it doesn't count. So we're not going to put you on the leaderboard stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, fine, I guess. Yeah. So there is and there are other modes where on every floor there will be like rooms you go into where it just pulls a random team from someone else's team from Steam, and you just fight those instead. So that's cool. I think that's cool. That's a neat twist.
It's like ghost races in Mario Kart.
Yes. It is like racing a ghost. Yeah, that's a good shout. So yeah, I think it's fun. Full disclosure, I didn't pay for this. I got sent a key. So
it is on. I'm 95% sure this is on Game Pass. I think I've seen this as I've been looking around.
Yes, you're right. It is, because I was like, oh shit. It always. I don't know. This is gonna sound like
my free key wasted.
It's like I sound like I'm being a diva, right? But whenever I claim a key and then the next day it pops up on Game Pass, I'm like, oh
yeah.
Oh, I'm not special, am I? Anyone can grab this.
We were going to give you a brand new key for this AAA full price game, but we've just seen that you've just got Despot's game, so we're gonna hold back on that.
I mean, for £1 on Game Pass, if you like auto battlers, I think this is a no-brainer. It's worth checking out. The art style alone and the music are so good that I just think it's a fun time.
Minimalist pixel art is always good.
Yeah,
when done well. When done well.
Yeah, it reminds me of what was that? What was that looping game? Loop Hero. I just said it. Loop Hero. Looping game. It reminds. Yeah, it's got similar kind of art style to that, and it's just
I like I like this thing. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. Like a Demigorgon lady.
What, the wall? Oh, that. Yeah, I don't know, because by the time we ran into those, our team setup was so strong, we were just slaughtering the entire room in like a split second. So
sick. All right,
that was pretty fun.
I'll chuck the ball to Steve then. What have you been playing, Steve?
Oh, well, I was going to be talking about World War III, the game, not the real life situation. Mm-hmm. But that game, which is a Battlefield clone, sort of. It's like recently went into open beta, but that game is having problems with everything that's not the actual game. Like if you can get into the game, it's okay. It's like it's fun to play, but like it's a pain to log on to the servers. It's a pain to add friends. It's a pain to get into a match. So I had to skip that one, unfortunately.
I saw the thing you said, which was just you had it downloaded, But you went to
Yeah.
verify your files, and it was like, oh, okay, fuck you, and re-downloaded the whole game.
Yeah, it did that, and then because you log on and it's like it's got like a checklist of stuff. It's like, oh, this is loaded, this isn't loaded, like a bunch of things that aren't
Yeah.
loaded. And apparently online it's saying like, oh, you hold W down to get past that, or you hold Shift plus right click, and it
Oh,
doesn't.
yeah.
And it's multiple people having this problem, so it's like
You used to have that, like other betas where it's like, oh, I can't seem to find a match. It's like, no, you hit the find match button, wait 2 seconds, then mash the X button for like 10 seconds, and then you might get into a match.
But yeah, it was several people having this problem, so I was like, and I was looking forward to this one as well. So instead, I played a game which I've been looking at for a while, called Rumbleverse. Which is an Epic Game Store battle royale. I've seen it about a little bit, so I was curious to try it.
See, I know this because I remember this getting announced, and it's made by Iron Galaxy, who make Killer Instinct on Xbox. And I remember this trailer starting with the Iron Galaxy logo and being like, oh, fuck. And then it was this. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, I did not think too much of this game. I played it. It's basically a battle royale with a focus on like melee combat. So like it's mostly just like punching and like wrestling moves and stuff.
Yeah.
It's very basic for what it is. Like you, instead of like a battle bus, you like get it launched in a cannon at the start, and you can kind of aim where you roughly want to go. The combat, the first round, my first match, I actually won. I had no problems at all. It was like very easy. So I'm wondering if it was like bots or something, because it was like every single person I ran up to, I was just like left click, left click, left click to do like my combo. They'd get knocked down to the ground. As soon as they get back up, I'd left click, left click, left click.
Just like a fighting game.
I think I killed like 20 people. Like very easily, not even sweating.
Okay, were they bots?
I was about to say, are they bots?
That's what I was going to say. I think they might have been bots because after that one, I queued up again. First person I ran into seemed to be like good. I managed to beat them, but they were like countering me. They were blocking. And so I was like, okay, maybe it was like because there's no tutorial or anything for this. It's just like you have to go in raw and
just pray
and pray that like
what? No tutorial for a fighting game?
It's not a fighting game.
No, it's not a fight.
Well, it kind of is.
It kind of. It's like a weird action game.
Yeah,
it's a weird one, man.
But it definitely could do with like a tutorial because like right click does like defense and stuff, and can like use different moves, and you got like you can pick up chairs to like kind of whack people over like wrestlers and stuff. And it just wasn't that great. It's got like the quirky Fortnite style almost. A lot of cosmetics and stuff, but the gameplay just didn't seem to be there. If you played a battle royale, you've probably you've got the feel for this.
I think I hate this art style. Like it is. I don't know.
I was gonna say I think I hate that Fortnite is an art style now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just I don't know. It's just I think it's the really big mouths.
Yeah.
I see it.
And everything's like exaggerated. People are either really, really fat or that guy's really, really hench.
And it's like in this game also like you can kind of like Spider-Man climb up walls, and it's weird. It's just weird. It's kind of like quirky for quirky's sake. And
Is it possible though that this is a fighting game? Are you just not seeing the intricacies yet because you're not very good at it? Because
well, first of all, thanks for calling me shit. I'm joking.
Well, I know you're not a fighting game player.
First of all, fuck you.
It does have some of that, but like the second a third person comes along, anything that it's just you getting stun locked. Or
Oh my god, I just had like a mental image of playing like Street Fighter and getting third partied mid match from the other side.
Someone just runs in from off screen and just grapples you.
Yeah, do you mind?
It is kind of like that because there seems to be some sort of like counter mechanic, and like you like your left click is your basic 1-2-3 combo and it knocks him down at the end. Right click is like I assume it's defense, I'm not sure, or like your like quick attack to like break a combo. and then you get like there's drops around the world which give you like a Q and an E ability. Like you can like suplex someone, you can uppercut them, you can like have a rocket jump and slam down on them.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. It's like it's free to play, so I mean you could try it out. It wasn't that big of a download, but it just was not super.
It's just like
memorable.
I'm on Iron Galaxy's website now, and outside of like a few ports, their pedigree is fighting games. It's like Killer Instinct and Dive Kick and shit like that.
It does feel like a fight. It does feel like it's got some fighting game like stuff in there, like, but it's just not. Again, it might be that like there is more depth to it, but yeah. I've seen like a few people play this before, and I was like, or a few clips of it. I was like, is it good? It might be. I'll give it a try, and it's just
It just seems like I was trying to work out basically if I was stupid for seeing the Iron Galaxy logo and thinking it was going to be a proper fighting game, but
no,
it's like they make fighting games, and then it's just this. I feel like this is the type of game. I feel like in 3 months from now, it'll be a news story we talk about the servers being turned off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
being turned off, or they'll be like, oh, we're launching 2.0 with something else.
This game won't get a second chance. I feel very strongly about that.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I'm glad people are trying these different genres of battle royale rather than just making like Fortnite again.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. I just
don't. I saw clips of like people like knocking people off like into the water and stuff. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it's literally the matches that I played. It was literally just find someone, smack them, like either you decimate them or they put up a little bit of a fight, and then you hope you have enough HP for the next one.
I just feel like I see a thing where it's like Iron Galaxy, known for making really strict 2D fighting games, are making a Fortnite-looking battle royale with melee combat, and I just think like, who is this for?
Who's this for?
Who's the target demo? Is it kids looking for Fortnite stuff, or is
Epic,
it like?
Yeah, it's Epic Gaming Store exclusive, so you're competing with Fortnite directly.
Yeah, it's just a bit weird. I don't know. Is that
I guess this one doesn't have like the like Fortnite can be a bit intimidating if you're like, oh, I'm not very good at like the range shooting sort of thing. So this one is like up close, but still.
It's yeah. I'm sure it could be, whether it's good or bad. It's just in my mind. It's just a bit weird.
Yeah, it's a bit too close to Fortnite. Like I wish they would have gone for a different art style.
I will say as well. I'll find it really quickly. You posted a screenshot on your Discord.
Yeah.
And I just thought this looked awful. This is the UI of like, this is in game, right?
Yeah, this is in game. This is when I beat the first match, and I was like, "Oh, I'm the champion."
Oh god, yeah, that looks like a mobile game.
It was. I think it was. I looked at the screenshot and I was just like, "There's white text down here, but then there's orange text with a black stroke outline, and
even worse, that looks like an advert for a mobile game."
The longer you look, the worse it gets. It's so bizarre.
But it reminded me a bit of Nakara Blade Point, where it was like, oh, I won my first few matches in that, and I'm like, I feel like these battle royales are putting you up against bots.
Oh, 100%. 100%, yeah.
Same for Super People. When I played that, I won my first like match, and I was like, oh, okay, am I just
the thing is, right, is all these MOBAs which have such high play counts, you know, like in a single match, say like 60 or 100 people. If there's hardly anyone playing, they need to hide the fact that there's not a lot of people playing.
I don't think it's even that anymore. I think it is literally because winning feels good. And
that as well, yeah.
If, most people, think about it, like 100 people in a lobby, one person has to win. That means 99 people have to lose.
Yeah.
It's like you're doomed to failure, right? With those kind of statistics.
Yeah.
And if you get a win, you'll be like, yeah, if you die straight away, you're going to be like, fuck this one. But if you get the win, you're like, oh, I'm kind of invested. I might be okay at this game.
Because it happened when we were playing Fortnite. Like, I know I'm not a Fortnite god. And then we win like 4 games in a row. And I'm like,
yeah, but
well, I know it's fudging the numbers, but I still feel pretty good about those wins.
The perfect like battle royale will be one that's you versus nothing but AI, but you can't tell it's versus AI, and you win.
Just win every time.
You win like 1 in 5. You don't even win all the time, but you win like 1 in 5.
Right,
And when you do win, it feels earned. And at no point do you know that you're fighting AI.
That's like the future is we don't talk to each other anymore. We just all fight our own little series of bots. Oh my god,
if you played a PvP game, Hunt Showdown, Street Fighter, whatever, and you played against AI, but it felt like a human being, would you care?
I mean, it would be so much easier to make fun videos if everyone just caved to me immediately when I loaded in. Yeah.
I think, though, to be fair to Fortnite, I think Fortnite does have the player base, and I think it's just there's a lot of young kids playing, and also we went in as a squad of 4. And for some reason, people in battle royales are like, "I'm going to go off alone, away from my team," and so we kind of did dominate.
No way, it's bots. It's bots. It's got to be.
No, it's 10-year-olds.
No, Fortnite. You get a fresh account, and you're against bots. You play for a bit. It slowly introduces people. I think ranked mode in Fortnite is all people, obviously. But
I bet, maybe not by the last circle, but I bet. Even when we played, and we've played a lot of Fortnite, back in the day, I bet even when we played, that lobby was a third to 2/3 bots.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Maybe.
Depending on how long, if we'd lost a couple in a row, I bet Fortnite was just let them have one.
Well, because even if you play a battle royale, even if you don't win, but you get to the final circle, you still feel pretty good about it. So to have the first 60 people, to have the first 60 people in a battle royale that get wiped out by bots. It makes you feel good by getting into late game, but also you still have real competition.
Yeah,
This feels like a conspiracy theory, but it feels like a valid conspiracy.
I don't.
It does.
When you think about it, it does make sense, right? Because we don't know how they work specifically, but it is these games have bots. They do have. You can tell they have bots. It's not a secret. There are bots in battle royales. Yeah, that's why. In that Warzone 2, what was it? Call of Duty Next, that big conference. Yeah, they were like, "You're going to have 120 real players." It's because everyone knows that these games are all full of bots.
Yeah, I bet they were lying too.
Or what will happen is it'll be.
He had his fingers crossed.
Or what will happen is it'll be. Our game will be 120 real people, and then every game you play, this is fucking horrible. I can never get anywhere. I'm dying every 2 seconds.
I'm dying immediately. Yeah, fuck this.
This is awful. Take me back to the bots.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to wrap it up with, Steve, or you're finished?
No. I just wish that World War 3 was working, because it seems like a fun game. Especially there's the gun armory seemed so cool, because I watched Bluntcast play a little bit of it, and it seems like a cool game. I just want it to work. I think it's the dev studio is quite small, and they weren't expecting the amount of players.
I think it's so funny the way people talk about this game, and they're like, "Can't wait to try World War 3." Oh, did you hear World War 3 starting today? World War 3 is pretty great. Yeah,
World War 3 Pog.
It's such a stupid name. Because it's World War 3. It's not on the cards. It's going to be the next one, right?
It's just bad timing. You could see this as an Xbox 360 game from 10 years ago.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You are right.
They should have made it World War 3 and then just added an extra O to it, 30. It'll be a while before
World War 30.
Oh, just call it fucking World War 0 or something. That'll be fine.
Hedge your bets. Go with 4.
Yeah, well,
because odds are good, right? 3 is going to be the last one.
Odds are good, but it'll be really awkward if we do end up having World War 4 in a month. All right, we'll jump on from yours. And I've been playing The Last of Us.
Okay.
Specifically,
which one? The first release, the second release, or the third release?
Is this the Last of Us, the movie, the game, the TV show?
So this specifically that I've played cost 70 quid. Fuck me. This is The Last of Us Part 1, which is the PlayStation 5 remake.
So the newest version.
The newest version. So for context,
Sony.
The Last of Us came out on PS3. which was about a long time ago. Came out on PS3, but it came out towards the end of the PS3's life. So what they did is when the PS4 came out, to get that console, get that rolling, they did The Last of Us Remastered, which was the PS3 game, but up-resed. So same assets and textures, but everything is higher resolution, cleaner, sharper, whatever. This is a complete remake. They're all brand new assets.
Did Last of Us 2 as well.
Yeah, or Last of Us Part 2 was the sequel that came out.
How many versions of that do we have?
Just one. But
okay.
but
So
far there will be that will come out on PS5 and PC as well. I strongly believe that if it's not already confirmed.
I think it's already confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I played this. It was on my rental list. It just turned up, and I did the same thing with this that I did when The Last of Us first came out all those years ago, which is I played it for about an hour and a half and was like, this is really good. This is great. I'm going to play this a bit later. And my second time I sat down with it, fucking blasted the whole thing. Just loved it. This game is still amazing. It's so for anyone, most people, has everyone here played Last of Us?
I have not.
Yeah,
I have.
Because it's at this point it's pretty iconic. I think you look at like best games of all time lists, it's normally at the top of a lot of people's lists. It's another apocalypse game. Basically just zombies and that. They're like plant mushroom zombies, but don't worry about it. They're just zombies. But the thing this game does so well is just the world and immersing you in this post-apocalyptic world and just walking you around it, showing you how things are now, and it's so engrossing. Like there's so much detail, even more so now in the remake. You go in houses and stuff, and there's so much storytelling just in the environment of how people lived, how they escaped, stuff like that. But the premise of the game is there's a zombie outbreak, like a virus, and then you skip forward 20 years. You play as a guy called Joel, who has to escort Ellie across the country because she is the only human alive that is immune to the virus. So you have to get her across the country to where there's like a faction. I won't go into it. There's a faction that have like doctors and stuff. They can make a vaccine. You have to get her there. So it's a cross-country story. But yeah, the world is just so gorgeous, and the whole game itself is like. I'm going to talk a lot about the story because that's where this game really shines. It's a really good character story. You come across different people as you're going across the country, and you meet them and you hang out with them for a bit, and then they leave the story for whatever reason. They get captured, or they just leave, or they die. All these other characters, and it's just really well written. If you've played like anything from Naughty Dog, like any of the Uncharted games or The Last of Us, they're just so well written. There's not a lot of games that are, in my opinion, as well written as these are.
Yeah.
I think one of the main things I come away from this is I'm now so excited for the TV show because I just want to see.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
Are you still excited, having played Last of Us Part 1 3 times now?
I think I am. I love this story, just from start to finish. I think this story is incredible.
Yeah.
And I hope that the show is good enough to show this story to as many people as possible. Because I really love these characters and this story.
Because for me, what I heard was for the original of this game was the story was fantastic. The shooting was not the best.
So the gameplay itself is, so Naughty Dog's other series, being Uncharted, is a lot more run and gun and a lot more like sort of jump here, climb here, AK hipfire, gung ho kind of style. This is it's a lot slower. You can stealth through a lot of the sections, and the shooting is a bit shit, but it almost feels like maybe it's like supposed to be, because you're not supposed to be able to just pop out of cover and headshot, 5 dudes or a couple of zombies that are running at you. It's supposed to like so. There's like an upgrade system as you play the game. You can find medicine that upgrades a very small number of stats. It's very minor, but one of the upgrades is weapon sway, and the game has a shitload of artificial weapon sway, which is shit. It feels really shit to play because you can't hit anything because your gun's all over the place. But again, I think it's supposed to be almost deliberate by design because
it's a weird thing to have though, isn't it? Because you're right. It's like when I played Resident Evil 2 remake on console versus PC, and it's like PC it's so easy to just headshot every zombie you come across, and it's not scary at all. And then you play it on console where the aiming is naturally a bit wonkier because it's all on a pad, and it's like you can't just deal with every zombie that comes across because you use more ammo just because you can't one tap everything.
Well, ammo is
but at the same time, it does feel like shit, doesn't it?
It feels,
really does.
it does feel like shit. But at the same time, because ammo is already really like limited in this series, because it's post-apocalypse and you're scrounging, and I do feel like it puts you in situations where you have like a zombie or two running at you, so you go to pop some shots, but you miss, and now you're in like a scrap with something like biting at your neck. And it's like I said, it does feel like it's by design, but I can also see why that would piss a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I didn't hit my shot because the camera was swaying all over the place, and this, that, and the other. And it's like, but look at that cool.
It's like,
scrap
I get it.
Yeah.
I'm malnutrition and I'm in a zombie apocalypse. I get it. I'm not a sniper. But
yeah. So it's I'm kind of like on the fence with that. I don't really know. It's like we said, very brief tangent, but we're talking about Shadow of War, the Lord of the Rings game, and about how, because of the way that game works, dying makes the game better, even though if you're really good at the game's worse. So it's like it's counterintuitive to what you want it to be, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I played all of this from start to finish. I think by design, some of it does feel a bit old, which is weird because it looks so nice. It kind of, you can feel some of the PS3 underneath, if that makes sense.
I was. You said that the other day, and I was thinking about. Do you remember The Irishman, where it's Robert De Niro in a young man's body, CGI'd to be a young man, but he still moves like an old man? That's exactly this game.
It's like the odd thing where I'll be going through a level in this, and it'll be like a corridor, or it'll be quite tightly scripted, and I'll search the corner of the room, and there'll be like a collectible like hidden in the corner, and I'm like, you don't really see that as much anymore, because everything, a lot of games now are kind of like they're open world, or you don't get a lot of like corridor games where you then go into a corner and there's just a thing there that gives you lore. It's just it's hard to really explain, but you can feel the PS3 game underneath. Even to the point where there is the odd bug that I remember from the PS3 game, which is weird because it does make me think like this game is just a new skin bolted on top. There's stuff like where you make Joel try and like climb a ladder or do something, and he kind of like he spins on spot for a second trying to find the correct location to do the animation. It's a bit weird. But yeah, I just think if you're after an amazing story, I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy a PS5 and buy this game because it's not.
It's coming to PC, right? At some point.
It is coming to PC at some point, and for anyone that hasn't played this, massive recommendation for the PC version.
Just wait till it's on Game Pass.
It won't be. It's Sony. Don't do this to me, Steve. I know you're trolling.
Wait till it's on Epic.
No, it'll be on Steam for what is it? It'll be like 60 quid on Steam, I reckon. But
yeah, the thing that gets me about all these remakes that they've like done 2 or 3 times is that they always try to like make them come out with such fanfare, and I'm like, this is a game that's been out 3 times. Like, does it need?
I do. There is a part of me that's like, all right, again, come on, it's a bit rich, Sony.
Or it's like, so I had this on. The reason I'm like 70 quid is because I didn't buy this game. it's on my rental list.
Rented,
Yeah.
And it just turned up in the post. I missed the email. It said it was coming. So I was like, oh, sick. Last of Us. And like I said, the first session I played with it, I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. I'll play a bit more later. And I was just hooked. Just couldn't stop. I knew I've played this game. I shit you not. I've done it from start to finish probably about five or six times now. I know this game like back to front.
You're the problem.
Why am I a problem? I love this game.
Why they're releasing this again?
Keep getting away with it. Yeah.
It's just so good, and it's the fact that a whole bunch of people on PC are going to get to play this is so exciting to me because I'm excited. I'm excited for those people because it's so good.
It's so funny. I hear your enthusiasm, and I just can't get behind it. It's so weird. Like I'm not going to poo-poo your opinion, but I just played it, and I'm like, this is the most like the writing's good, but the story is so generic, and the gameplay is so like. Even at the time, it wasn't anything special. It was a third-person shooter that didn't feel very good to shoot.
I think
with like wonky stealth segments.
I think the reason is because the story, even when this came out, over a decade ago, zombie shit was already done to death, right?
Yeah.
I think the
and
reason
it's like, you call them plants, but like you said,
yeah, they're zombies. They're zombies. Yeah. I think the reason it sticks with me, even to this day, is not because of the like consistency of the story, but because the story specifically has like 2 or 3 really punchy moments.
Yeah.
All right,
Last of Us goes hard, man.
It does go really. Yeah, you have the intro is super hard. There's a bit like halfway through with a couple of characters that kind of comes out of left field. And you're like, fuck, that's really rough. And then I'll just tape onto the end of this. I assume Last of Us Part 2 will come to PC and get remade. Not remade, but like, like how Part 1 was remastered from PS3 to PS4?
Yeah.
I assume they'll do that from PS4 to PS5 for Part 2.
Yeah.
Wasn't Part 2 PS5? Is it on PS5
No,
already?
so similar to how Part 1 came out towards the end of the PS3, Part 2 kind of came out towards the end of the PS4. It came out in 2020.
So Part 3 is going to come out near the end.
There will not be a Part 3.
You don't know.
There's going to be a Last of Us Part 3, right? For surely.
I don't know how you carry on that story.
Yeah.
They'll find a way.
You might get more. You'll get more Last of Us, but I don't think you'll get a Part 3. You'll get Last of Us.
Unless you went with a different character.
Yeah,
I could see them going with a different character.
Yeah, and at that point, it'll be Last of Us subtitle or something.
You reckon?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the story of Ellie and Joel is finished by the end of Part 2. Yeah, 100% with a lot of confidence.
That's not how I remember it, but
I didn't know there could be time travel.
Have you finished Part 2?
I've watched all the way through it because I had to find out what everyone was complaining about.
Oh yeah, but a lot of people hated Part 2.
A lot of people hate Part 2.
A lot of people hate
I'm not
Part
one
2.
of those people. I think Part 2 is all right.
I was talking to a Tired Musician the other day, and I really like Part 2, but I agree with him what he said, which is Part 2 is emotionally exhausting. That game is just so oppressive from start to finish. It's like, Jesus Christ. Great game, though. I got nothing else to say about that. I just really enjoyed playing this again. I think this will probably be the last time I'll play it. I'll watch it again.
Wait, PS6 remaster.
PS6.
VR.
PS6, it'll be The Last of Us, and it'll just be Part 1 and Part 2 all together.
Yeah,
finally,
and it'll just actually be Pedro Pascal, like fully.
Oh my god, yeah.
Put into the game somehow.
No, actually, it's going to be Lego Last of Us.
No.
Last one.
That made me feel a little bit sick, actually. Jesus Christ.
That's a great idea.
I hope the TV show is good. I mean, it's like
the trailer makes it look okay.
It looks like it's got that HBO budget. So, and The Last of Us is already pretty much a TV show when you kind of break it down.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember there being very clear, like, you would put credits here if this was a 10-hour HBO TV show.
There's that, and it's also like, you have like cutscenes and character moments, and then there's like maybe like an hour, even less, of gameplay, and it's like you could make this a fight scene or skip this entirely and still just have a TV show. So I don't want to say they won't fuck it up because they definitely can, but I think they got a good shot of making it decent. If it's got the money behind it and you've got the acting, you've got what's his face, Pedro Pascal. Like there was, it was a news story this week, but we'll just do it now quick. There was a new trailer for the TV show, giving it a confirmed release date or release year of 2023, and it looks really solid.
There's been so many things that are like coming out in 2023. I several times this year have thought it was 2023 because there's so many things that are like, oh, it's 2023, 2023.
Don't wish for time to pass. That's bad.
That's a slippery slope.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on from that, and we'll go through. That's everyone's week's done. So we do have a question for this week. So I'll bring this up very question. Again, name come up again. You got Tired Musician asking, favorite movie adapted from a video game. But I'm going to say movie or TV show adapted from a video game.
None of them.
You don't like a single one.
I saw you sent this and I thought about it and I couldn't think of a single one. Oh, and then Steve said Arcane. Yeah, Arcane's all right. I'm taking Steve's answer. I'll say Arcane.
No, that's the basic answer. I've got some different answers.
Well, Arcane, if not just for the fucking awesome animation in that.
I think it's like of all the games that can easily become movies, right? Like your Uncharted's, which is games that are already basically movies.
Yeah.
And then it's like you hear like League of Legends TV show, the fucking MOBA where you get on and everyone's racist and awful to each other, and you just think like how do they make interesting TV out of that? And it's like, what a slam dunk. I think it had like problems, right? I don't think it was a perfect show, but like wow, just out of nowhere, I was like, okay. They're taking this seriously. Are they nice?
I always said for the longest time when League of Legends was popping off and it was getting all these graphical updates and esports was going mad and they were doing all these cool stories and characters and animations. I said in my mind, just please do anything else with all this talent that isn't League of Legends, the game.
Just League, yeah.
Make a TV show or a game, and now obviously they're doing it. But at the time, it was driving me mad.
It's a bit like, it's crazy to me how Overwatch has not got a TV series or a movie, because the animations for that, I still go back every now and then and just watch like the Overwatch the movie on YouTube, which is all the animations. I'm like,
what's the opposite of a slam dunk? Because that's what Overwatch is.
Own goal.
Own goal. Or it's funny talking about Overwatch because another game very similar to Overwatch that did the exact same thing, that being not capitalizing on cool animation stuff, is Team Fortress 2. Where everyone for the longest time was like, for God's sake, just do a show or just make something, please.
I could see Team Fortress 2 doing like a Netflix original.
That's what I'm saying. They could.
Kid show, and it would be.
But it was too soon, right? It was too early. There was no. Like, they weren't going to go to like CW.
Yeah,
right?
you're not wrong. Yeah,
this stupid TF2 game as a show. They weren't. No network was going to go for that at the time.
I reckon. Yeah,
but I think
these days, for sure.
It might have had a chance.
I've got two answers to this question.
Oh yeah, boy, go for it.
Oh, take the floor.
Ready?
Craft, I swear.
The spicy one for the first one is Resident Evil.
Oh no, I like that one.
They're so
I love
weird.
them films.
It's like some of them are okay, some are utter shit. It's so hit and miss.
I'm with Sam. I think so. Specifically talking about the newest Resident Evil that got so much hate, and again, I don't think it was a good show, but people were hating on that show like Resident Evil was some bastion of great writing, like this is where press X to punch Boulder, get the video game,
smuggling watermelons in your
people
shoulders.
Were like, it's not true to the lore of Resident Evil. I'm like, what the fuck even is the lore of Resident Evil at this point? Does anyone care?
Yeah, it's a game series with all these monsters and, like you say, like biceps that are 3 times the size of his head, but it's like, oh my god, Wesker is black. Get the fuck out of
yes.
Oh my god, cancel the whole thing.
Not in my Resident Evil.
I went to watch that Resident Evil show, or I was like, this day I'm going to watch it. And I think like a day or two before I was going to watch it, they announced how it was just cancelled forever. And that killed any motivation I had to watch it.
Yeah. Which is a real shame, because for Lance Reddick alone, it's worth a watch. He like, that man is a powerhouse. He puts his all into every role he
Jill
gets.
Valentine.
Yeah.
What's number 2, Sam?
There's
My serious answer for a film that I watched thinking it could not live up to what I thought it would be and did is Detective Pikachu.
Oh fuck! Yeah, I remember that.
I forgot about that.
That film could have easily been awful.
It was awful.
And
it was
even
okay.
now,
It was
I don't
okay.
think it's a fantastic film. But as far as Pokemon films go,
Yeah.
Pokemon is a hard brand to walk away from and go, you know, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, in retrospect, I'm surprised they greenlit like a live action weird Pikachu thing. It's like you say, like in hindsight, it's like I'm surprised this is kind of a thing.
Well, because like if you write down, it's a Detective Pikachu movie. It's live action. It stars Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu, and you're just like, what the fuck am I reading? And it smacks of like, you know, a big boardroom of dudes just like, what are people like? Oh, they like Pikachu and they like Ryan Reynolds. Put them all together, make it happen. And then it's like, it's pretty good. It wasn't bad.
It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
For me, it was Ryan Reynolds made that movie, and the actors the other actors felt like they were performing in a kids movie, but Ryan Reynolds wasn't. I'm not sure. Like, I feel like there was a tonal difference that could have been met a little bit.
I'm kind of.
Could have been.
I was just saying, I'm just at the point where I kind of really don't like Ryan Reynolds anymore. I'm kind of sick of him.
Yeah.
I have no real reason
that.
to.
They did that Deadpool 3 announcement, and I was like, oh yeah, Reynolds, yeah, show me a good time. Hugh Jackman's in, fuck yeah.
I didn't even know they were bringing the Deadpool series into the MCU. I didn't even know.
No, I didn't either.
Was that the announcement
of
that?
Fighting for it for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing about Detective Pikachu as well is I remember it being okay, but I don't remember anything about the actual film. I can't tell you what happens in that movie at all.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
It's quite forgettable.
It's Justice Smith, and then there's I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, if you want my picks,
Mewtwo.
I've got 2 picks. I say, first of all, I enjoyed the Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Oh, what, with Angelina Jolie? Yeah.
Lara Croft films.
That was before, when I was like younger. I haven't watched them recently, so they might not hold up. But I remember they're good fun films.
2001. Oh, my childhood. Oh, I was like 9.
Yeah.
Now looking back, I'm like, her tits weren't nearly triangle enough.
They should have put the big pyramids in them.
But yeah, that was a good one. And then also, you can't bring up video game movies without saying the Mario movie.
Oh,
it's
the old
bad,
one.
but like looking back now, it's a classic. You can't.
I haven't actually seen this.
No, you need to. It's so bad.
I know the Goombas are fucking horrific in it. That's all I know. There's one.
A lot of horrific things in it.
I watched half of that on ITV, and it felt like a fever dream. And I was just like, "What?"
That's the point. Yeah.
Was it even real?
Yeah.
My movie is it's nothing stellar, but I just like looking back at it. I actually really enjoyed it for what it was, and that was what you said it earlier, the Uncharted movie.
That's your favorite?
Not my favorite. Well, there's not many to pick that are any good, are there? let's be honest. I just sort of I was hoping you guys would cover some of the good ones, so I was just going to say the Uncharted movie. I thought this was.
I did my best.
Yeah, this was dumb and stupid, but I kind of enjoyed it.
I will say, I think movies we're starting to get some good movies now, but series like Castlevania series is apparently very good.
Castlevania is great, yeah.
Cyberpunk
the anime.
People were liking. The Dota anime is pretty good. Witcher as well. People seem to like, as you know.
I have a problem with these. They come out and they're like, it feels like it's all by the same studio, and it feels like it's made by an AI. Because there's like Dota, there was Dragon's Dogma got an anime, Witcher.
Oh yeah,
and they're all like exactly the same. If you could, like, you could take a screenshot from any single one of those shows, and they all look identical, and it weirds me out. I don't know.
It kind
It's
of
like a conspiracy there. It's like a tax write-off or something.
What annoys me about all these like movies and TV shows based on games that aren't very good. It's almost as if like it feels like they're not given the budget that they need because
Warcraft movie was given the budget.
it's like they're not given the care and attention they should probably get because they're based on games. Whereas it should be like, hang on a minute, there's such a massive crossover here.
Yeah,
Why are you not like slam dunking it?
It feels like it's like we said, it's like a board of executives who are like, video games, whatever. Just give them a bunch of money and just do whatever. And it's like nobody puts the care in, even though the video games are like dwarfing movies at this point in terms of
it's
audience.
Like, why should we give it a proper budget? That's it's based on a game. It's like, motherfucker, the Venn diagram of people that watch movies and play games is a circle.
Yeah.
Every single one of those people, everyone that plays games watches movies, and you can't tell me otherwise. I strongly believe that.
Or do people who watch movies all play games?
Wait, hold on. Sam doesn't watch movies. No, Sam doesn't watch TV shows.
He doesn't watch TV shows, but he watches
TV,
but he watches movies.
Go to the cinema
Yeah.
to watch any Marvel film any day of the week.
Yeah, it's like you say.
Sam, would you go to see? I was going to say, would you go to see a Warcraft movie? And I think we did.
Already exists.
Did you go to see another Warcraft movie?
I haven't seen that Warcraft movie.
Have you not?
I haven't seen it either.
It got such bad reviews from the people around me that I was like, I don't need to see it. I know the story of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I basically lived it.
It's just not every person that watches movies plays games, but I feel so strongly that everybody that plays games watches movies,
or at least if they made a movie
or
about
would engage
their
with.
game,
yes, yeah,
they would go and see it. Yeah.
I don't know, the amount of people who are like, I'm a big fan of this series, and they're doing, and they're like, oh, there's a new movie or TV series. I'm like, nope, I'm not watching it. It's going to taint the lore. Like, let's give it a try.
It's like we're talking about with like the Last of Us TV show, and they're also doing like the BioShock TV show, right? And it's like, if either of those come out and they're not good, I just feel like it's a case of like, why? Why is this not good? You have the story laid out. It's a good story. People will watch this.
Yeah.
Why is it shit?
Well, the only thing I can say is like we're getting a trailer soon for the new Mario movie coming out.
Yes,
with Chris Pratt, and that has to be a banger, right? It can't be bad, right?
We'll find out soon. I can't remember the date. It was October the something. We're getting
6th, I think.
That's really close. Shit, I didn't know it was that close. Okay, that's a good question though. I like that question.
Thank you, Tired.
Yeah, thank you, Tired. Let's move on to some news then. Obviously, you've got the big news story of the week is Google Stadia shutting down.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be
Goomba Face.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
Big story of the week is Goomba Face. No, it's so Google Stadia is gonna get shut down. It's running until I think early next year.
Yeah, early January.
And then they're getting rid of it. Just for some context with this, they are refunding everyone's purchases, software and hardware. Good. So, it's Google, right? They got literally imaginary money. Like,
yeah, but I feel like they could probably take the hit and not have to. But I guess at the same time, they could. Yeah, they've probably already made that money back while we're having this conversation.
Yeah, I think Google are one of those companies that have realized that like good faith is worth more long term than the money it costs to refund everyone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but that means that they're making no money off this, right? If they're refunding everything.
No. Or Google are known for trying things out and then after a year being like, this ain't doing numbers we thought it would.
Google Glass? That's one I remember.
There's a website called, I think it's like googleKilledIt.com or Death by Google. It's a list of 200 plus services and hardware pieces that Google have killed. Let me find it.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I will say I saw a Reddit thread.
Killedbygoogle.com.
There was a Reddit thread of like developers who's been spending like 5 months fixing bugs for a game, and then they're like the day they send in the patch, the day after, like,
Yeah.
oh, Stadia's closing down. It was so sad. They weren't like mad, but they were like, oh, it's just.
This is the list for anyone watching of everything Google has ever done that they have killed and shut down. So just like random hit.
Wow.
Google Play Music killed 2 years ago. It was 9 years old. Playground. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And then at the top here,
Pigeon Transit.
I'm not going back to that part. Google.
That was professional pigeon courier service. Yeah.
Google Stadia. It will be about 3 years old when it's shut down. That's older than I thought it was.
Wait, I like how there's like even stuff past Google Stadia, like that's been announced.
Oh yeah. Or no, they might not have been announced afterwards, but these are things that are going to be killed later into 2023.
I like how there's like the tombstone icon.
Yeah, if it's dead.
It's dead, and the guillotine, if it's like, oh, it's coming.
But yeah, so Google Stadia is shutting down. There's a few other stories tied to this, but yeah, they're refunding everybody. There's also, so based on this story, it's been known that Stadia have now at some point turned down an exclusive Death Stranding sequel or follow-up, which is...
I think that would have been nightmare fuel trying to be like, oh yeah, here's an exclusive game on Stadia. Like, people would have rioted.
The thing is, right, is there's two parts of this. So the first part is apparently this Death Stranding sequel was going to be a single-player game, whereas Google were really trying to lean into this cloud-based multiplayer stuff, like stuff you could only do on Stadia.
Yeah.
So it might not fit their image they were going for. There's also the fact that this is kind of like tinfoil, right, or just like speculation. But depending on when this was going on and how Google Stadia was doing, Kojima spends a lot of time making his games.
Yeah.
It's like Death Stranding apparently took like 4 or 5 years to do, and it's like if they're looking at figures, talking to Kojima about making a game, and they're like, well, we could be killing Stadia in like 6 months. They might not have started it for that reason, but you had so that all came up. That was quite interesting. And the last bit tied to it was from Ubisoft, who are not refunding, but anything you own from Ubisoft on Stadia, they'll give you a PC copy of, which is pretty cool. That's nice.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. This is a good move, no doubt.
Yeah, marketing wise, it's a great move.
But is this like, guy, we ran the numbers, boss, we're gonna lose about 80 quid doing this? And think of the
PR. we're giving all the Stadia players copies of their games. So that's, do the calculator, that's 20 copies of Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah, 20 copies of Assassin's Creed Mirage, of which about 4 people will take us up on that, because it's like they're free everywhere anyway.
They made more money on ad revenue from this tweet than they did than it costs to give those games out.
2 people, 1 Siege.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I like how every single time you go on Siege with people like who haven't played in a while, it's like, oh, it's got crossplay, and it's like, oh, it's crossplay with Stadia. Like, don't get excited.
Oh, does it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All 7 players on Stadia. Yeah, there was So that's all happening. That's all kicking off. Rest in peace, Stadia, I guess. It's kind of it's interesting because now there's not a lot of cloud service options.
No, we've got like
you've got Xbox.
Nvidia,
Microsoft and Sony have, or is Sony's one shut down?
Sony's one, no, that is still there. That is still there.
GeForce Now, that's a big one, right?
GeForce Now and xCloud are 2 big ones.
I was gonna say, I think those 2 are so good that like Stadia is like,
it's just it's confusing because in a world where this technically on paper should be the future, right? But
we're not there yet.
But Google are pulling out. Maybe like you say, is it still too early?
Yeah, I think so. Like, internet infrastructure is still not in the place where this can be like happily supported, I think. Where it's like the caveat where until you can say you can play X game anywhere and you know it will work just fine with no latency, then it's like it's a fool's game, right?
So I guess
Because if you have to go through a bunch of caveats before you can check if I can play Assassin's Creed Mirage on my phone on the toilet,
yeah,
then it's like, what's the point?
I suppose it's just so you have Xbox and PlayStation, all these other companies that are still trying to do it. You have them essentially eating the cost of having all this stuff up and ready before it's actually ready, if that makes sense. So they just sort of sit there like, one day this will be really good. Maybe by that logic, then Google are just saying, we'll shut down Stadia now, but when we do feel it's ready, we'll just ramp it back up really quickly and get it going again. Restart the marketing hype.
There's come up with a new name.
I think they were banking on, when cloud gaming does take off, because I think like it is going to at some point, right? Stadia would be a household name, but I think they like jumped the gun almost,
Yeah.
And I think maybe they've salted the earth here. I don't know if they'll be back for this.
It's interesting because it could be like 5 years from now, and they'll be like, oh, we're doing Google something. It's the new cloud-based entertainment system, and everyone's going to be like, oh, well, Stadia.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's The other thing about this as well was Phil Harrison, currently in charge of the Google Stadia part of Google. This is the third fuck-up launch he's done now. Almost in a row, I think.
I mean, if there's like 200 other ones, it feels like there's a lot of fuck-ups on Google's.
Also, in case you weren't aware, Phil Harrison was the guy in charge of the PlayStation, Sony's gaming division when they launched the PS3, which was fucking awful. And then he was part of the people in charge of the Xbox launch for the Xbox One, which was also awful. And now he's in charge of Google Stadia, which is awful. It's just this man keeps just
maybe stop hiring this guy.
Stop hiring him. I've seen everyone describe it online
Google, give me a go. I've launched 0 terrible products. I'll have a go.
You got 3 on him because he's in the negative.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just by default, I'm 3 up. Yeah.
I saw a bunch of people describe it as failing upwards, where it's just you keep failing, but then keep getting not promotions, but I assume he's getting paid more than probably his previous job.
Well, it's like it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
He might have launched terrible products, but he did launch those products. They did come out, and they did exactly what they said. So, like, I guess that's something,
Well, you just blame other people, don't you?
He just probably blamed all the devs.
Yeah. Weren't you in charge of launching the Stadia? Oh, yeah, it wasn't my fault. I still launched it. Oh, okay, yeah. You can be in charge of PS6. I don't fucking know.
What's that? But you have heard of him.
You're the worst console launcher I've ever heard of, but you have heard of me.
Is that a meme?
Fucking Captain Jack
That's so
Sparrow.
niche.
Yeah, that's good. All right, next news story. Got 2 that go hand in hand. Not massive stories, but you've got Dorito Pope coming out of the woodwork to announce the Game Awards. December 8th.
Wait, after a 3-year break, wasn't it on last year?
No, so when he says public,
in
so
person.
because not the Game Awards, what was it? The Summer Game Fest was his first in-person thing for like years and years. So
I feel like having it public is just, we're going to put half the advertising budget on flying influencers out so we could take a screenshot of them in the crowd to be like, look, they're pogging.
Look, he's pogging. Oh my god.
Look, he's pogging.
Watch Steve completely 180 if he gets an invite via email.
I'm practicing my pog face right now.
Yeah, keep practicing. So not much to say on this, but that's coming up. And the bit that goes hand in hand was we got dates for E3, so the first in-person E3 in a long time as well. So E3, I guess, trying to claw back after it missed did it miss 1 or 2 years? I think it was
2.
Was it 2? Was it really 2?
Was it 2? Time? What does time even mean?
I think
anymore?
it was 1.
I'm not sure, but it feels like Summer Games Fest kind of has now cemented itself as like good game reveals now. So it's like, there's too many. They need to spread them all out now, I feel.
Just seeing if I can find event history
No,
for
E3 2020 was cancelled.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's just
E3
one.
2020 was cancelled. 2021 was online, and then 2022 was cancelled. They had 2 cancellations, but they weren't back to back.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
basically it's E3 going to try and claw back what it can from the fucking Dorito Pope, who's taken all their market share.
And then Jeff Keighley will be at E3 as well, announcing stuff.
Jeff Keighley will be there fucking
How's-
curb stomping people at E3. Like,
How's Jeff Keighley like Marjorie Terrell'd his way to the
I
top
don't
of the
know, yeah, it's
entire
actually
video
Game-
game infrastructure?
he's played the fucking video game Game of Thrones, and now he's at the top,
He
and
has,
no one
he has.
realised it.
He's
had-
not a real person, it's robots.
He's had like his own evil Morty scene from Rick and Morty, where it's like it was him all along. Like no one knew. But yeah, so E3. I'm excited for E3. I hope they do. I hope it's not shit, because this might be the last one if it's really bad.
I think
I mean-
it depends on they'll get the game. They'll get people like ready to announce stuff.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It feels like now, because we didn't have E3 last year, Summer Games Fest like did the job, but then also every game company was like, we're doing our own announcements, but then we'll just add Summer Games Fest at the bottom somewhere just to loosely tie it in.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where it's like competition is always good, right? But does that
Mhm.
work for game conferences? There's only so many games to be announced.
I already
right?
feel like I think we're still operating under like COVID time, right? Where
Yeah.
stuff is getting delayed and projects are taking longer than they normally would. And I already feel like it's all stretched too thin. I'm not excited to tune into any
Exactly.
of these
Yes. Yeah.
events because they never announce anything, because like it's, you think about the last couple we watched and it was like, this game is delayed, and it's like CG trailer after CG trailer, right? Not even a date on most of the stuff that gets announced, and it's like
2023.
Well,
yeah, and it's
Well,
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we need to. It's like, all right, guys, calm down.
I get that. I'm going to throw a bit of shade at the PC gaming show, which is at
Yeah.
E3 time usually, where it's like it's normally the longest event at like 2.5 hours
With the least to show.
with the
yeah.
least, and it's like it's all fluff. All the games are kinda cack. I'm sorry, and it's just like
But I do like that there's a space for those kind of smaller indie projects to get shown off,
yeah,
I would maybe some vetting, because there were a couple real stinkers that got announced at
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
one I watched.
I
But
feel like it needs to be vetted, and also needs to be like, does the dev need to be on the stage announcing stuff, or can it just be a trailer?
well, what I'm saying is like I have no doubt it'll be okay, but it's like what we're saying about how obviously this didn't happen all at the same time, but you used to have the E3 shows where it's like, bam, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Straight after that, Shenmue 3. Straight after that, it's like this and that and that. And you used to have that all in like the span of like 4 to 6 hours when you'd have like 2 or 3 conferences. And now it's spread so thin.
It's like, oh, Bayonetta is coming out. Here's another trailer for it, where we're not actually showing anything new, just
Yeah.
another trailer.
And even to put more of a damper on it, it's just we've just come off of Tokyo Game Show for the week, which for some reason was like the biggest fucking news week of the year. Where there was like 50 announced, and we had to like race through 50, 60 games.
Well, I think it's part of it is these big shows are like, they're not about announcements anymore. They're more about reminders, because all these companies realized, like, why the fuck are we fighting Call of Duty for like, journalist space, like headspace for the year, when we can just announce our own thing in the middle of April, whenever, and then at E3 we'll just put out a trailer or show some gameplay or something, just say like, hey, we're still here and we're still working on our game. And it's I feel like that's probably the biggest problem why these shows aren't as fun as they used to be.
Well, it's also like you say, where it's like you watch any of these events like E3 and stuff, it's like, well, Call of Duty's not going to be there because they now have their own thing.
Yeah.
Anything big Sony will be at a State of Play. Anything big Nintendo will be in a Nintendo Direct. So what's
the point?
What's the point? Yeah, you got the odd thing here still.
Yeah, you still get an odd gem here or there, but it's
yeah.
not like it used to be. Back in my day,
Back in my day, you go into a game shop on a Friday and see what was new, and you'd buy it and try it, and it would be fucking Donkey Kong
do you remember
Country
going
2 or
to
some
game
shit would be
shops?
amazing.
Oh, game shops were amazing. If you're like, I'm just gonna go in and have a look around.
I remember like once a month I was allowed a magazine. Sounds so fucking old. I had a magazine.
I wondered where this was going.
And I'd open it. Oh yeah,
Once a month he was allowed out.
It was Nuts magazine. No, it was. You just open this like random Nintendo magazine and be like, "What the? This all like Wind Waker's. What the fuck is this? Like coming out?"
Yeah.
I missed that.
Star Fox is now on the ground with furry people.
Finally, a game for me. Right, let's move on from this. So, there was a new trailer for the Callisto Protocol, which again, not massive news. We're just talking about how trailers, whatever. But what was in this trailer that I didn't know about was you've got Karen. I hope I pronounce this right. Karen Fukuhara.
From The Boys.
From The Boys,
yeah.
Kimiko from The Boys.
Ah.
If I find it really quickly, I'm sure it'll come up in a sec anyway. So I can find it. Let's fucking skim. Is that her? That looks like her.
Yeah, you saying that, I was like, I feel like I knew that and forgot it or something. You know, like you said that, and I was like, oh yeah, she is. Yeah.
I didn't know that at all. Maybe I read it at some point, but just forgot. But
I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch.
She's gonna get eaten by so many monsters.
She's a precious cinnamon roll.
She'll be with you the whole game, and at the end, she'll just get obliterated for the shock. The shock
That was
value.
her there. That's her there.
Wait, what? The monster?
Yeah.
I think that's her, right? Hang on.
Yeah,
That's her. That's her, right? There she is. There she is.
Aw.
Yeah. I really like her in The Boys. I think she's really good. It's going to be weird seeing her talk, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't talk in The Boys. But yeah, cool new trailer. I mentioned this on Discord as well. It's at the start. Where is it? They have the old message on the wall written in blood saying,
Writings of the
I have a-
wall.
shoot the tentacles.
I have a question about this game because everyone at first was like, "Oh my god, this is Dead Space. It's gonna be great." And then I feel like the next trailer, everyone was like, it doesn't look as good." And now, how are people feeling? Are they like still like hyped or?
I think, personally, I was really on board for a new Dead Space type game, right? Because I love Dead Space. Dead Space 1 and 2 are really, really good. Dead Space 3 is a bit weird, but it's still okay. I don't know if it's a bit too much like Dead Space, where it's like...
That's my problem.
Yeah, like, again, the reason I brought this up, the whole shoot the tentacles written on the wall, is because one of the first things you see in Dead Space in the first game is written on the wall in blood. It says, shoot off their limbs. And it's like, it's not iconic, but it's a big part of Dead Space's opening.
Yeah.
And this just feels like another thing where they're looking at you directly in the camera, going like, "Eh? You remember?
Yeah, like what you see.
You like Dead Space?
Remember this?
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you squint hard enough, it looks maybe like Dead Space.
Because my response to seeing this wasn't like, "Oh, cool." I was just kind of like, "All right, I get it. It's Dead Space. I get."
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of, for whatever weird reason, this is the bit that pushed me slightly too far. It made me snap.
Yeah, you're right. I just feel like it's from the start. This is like it's the Dead Space guys, and they're making Dead Space again, and I'm like, wow, cool. I guess I really like Dead Space, but like, what are you doing with Dead Space? And they're like, we made Dead Space again.
I feel like this is, whenever I hear like stories like that, it's like it just brings back up. Oh, remember the Banjo-Kazooie devs are making Ukulele?
But it's same thing. Basically the same thing.
Yeah,
the Mega Man devs are making Mighty Number 9, and it's like, is it? They don't turn out as good as you think.
It's also kind of weird as well, where it's almost doing all this, completely ignoring the Dead Space remake that's being made, one block down the road from.
That's exactly, and it increasingly looks like they're going to be out around the same time, right?
Yeah, it's like this coming out like, remember Dead Space? It's like, it's getting a remake.
Yeah, I just played it. Yeah,
it's pretty sick, right? It's so weird. But
You think people will be, if this comes out first, do you think people will be like, Dead Space will come out and be like, oh, it's like that Callisto Protocol game?
Oh god, we come full circle.
Because I fully expect the box art for this game to just be like Dead Space crossed out.
Oh my
with Callisto
god, yeah.
written underneath.
What was the Dead Space box? Was what Isaac Clarke was back to? No, it was the hand.
Yeah, it was the hand.
Oh, it'll be like a
yeah.
foot or something in space. Steve's selfie channel going mad at the release of this game. Yeah, so yeah, it's like that's that basically. I don't really much else to say. I still kind of expect this game to come out. I think I said it before, like it comes out and I play it and my response is just, oh no. This doesn't it's not bad. It's just not it's just not great.
It's like Saints Row, new Saints Row level of like,
yeah,
all right, I guess it's here. It's got nothing to say, but it's here. Yeah,
it's gonna come out, and the reviews will be like, Dead Space. You know, Dead Space fans finally got the game they wanted. 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's so gory. It's so scary. It's so grim. 7 out of 10. Shooting feels bad.
Was it? It's gonna be what's that? Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood. It's Back 4
Blood.
Blood.
Back 4 Blood. Yeah,
again.
Back 4 Blood.
Well, we're all like, oh, Left 4 Dead again? Fuck yeah! And then we play it, and you're like, oh, not like this.
Oh,
though.
sick! That means this game will get a really good Kroby Cat video. So at the very least, we'll get something. Okay, we'll move on from this. This next news story: Vampire Survivors, baby. 1.0 release date. So
what is coming with 1.0? I
I
thought it was done.
don't know. I think the game basically it basically is done, right?
I think I've heard that they're putting it on a whole new engine or something. Maybe.
Well, they've come out and said that even though it's getting 1.0, they're far from done with it. So they want to keep working on it and add different bits. And like you said, yeah, they're working on a new engine. I think the problem with this is it got way more popular than they thought it would because it's so good.
Yeah.
And it was so cheap.
Yeah.
Because word of mouth just made it spread like wildfire, right? And it was what, like at the time it was £2. I think now it's like 3 or 4, but even that's still cheap.
Yeah. This is the game where you're like, oh, I know I'm going to be like semi-busy for half an hour, but I can have something up in the background and play it. It's the perfect game for that.
Yeah, so 1.0 comes out, I think it's the 20th. Yeah, October 20th will be the completion of this game. Please play this game, everybody listening. It's so good, even though it looks kind of...
I'll gift you a copy.
Yeah, will buy everyone that wants to copy a copy.
Yeah.
No
joke.
Giveaway.
When I did my the big 12-hour subathon, I toyed with the idea of giving away like 20 copies of Vampire Survivors back when it was £2. But then I thought, nobody's gonna fucking want me to dump truck a bunch of Vampire Survivors copies.
I do.
Like,
I
who's
want
gonna
you
sign
to do
up
that.
Like multiplayer or like leaderboards or something that you can have like leaderboards against your friends, you know.
Oh my god, a leaderboard would be sick.
That would be so sick. Leave it for the sequel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play some right now.
I'm waiting for this final patch. I'm currently 133 achievements out of 133.
In chat, he just booted it. I just saw him boot it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, that's so good. Okay, we'll move on from this one. You've then got Ubisoft's cursed pirate game is delayed again. This is, what's it called? Skull and Bones?
Skull and Bones, yes.
Oh, this game is...
This is Assassin's Creed.
Never going to be released?
It's never going to be released.
Isn't it strangely fitting how a pirate game is so cursed?
I love it. I love it so much. So we just had, correct me if I'm wrong, a really long, deep dive set of videos into this game, gearing it up for release.
I'd have to go back and check, but didn't I literally say at one point, I think they're going to see this vanilla reaction to their game and delay it?
Yeah.
I'm sure I said that.
Yeah.
That's every game gets delayed, so.
Well, there's also, so I read a whole bunch of this article. If I can find the date, yeah, so they had a closed technical test, which ended on the 19th of September. So as of recording, that's what, like 2 weeks ago, I think?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently just the reception to that is, again, one of the factors where they're like,
funny.
this isn't ready. It's just
That's funny because they around that time they put out a trailer where it was a bunch of or I don't know what they call them, Ubisoft power gamers or whatever they call them.
Yeah.
And they were all going, man, it's so nice to be part. And the game is in such a good state right now, and I just love being part of that. And you're like, all right, well, you might have a vested interest in this game being good and selling well, mightn't you? Like,
yeah. Well, it's really weird because last time we talked about this, we were talking about how it was clearly in a state of they just want to get this out now and be done with it. They want to get it out and just be like, fuck this, move on. But clearly not.
Well, I guess someone checked in and went, everybody just hates this guy. We got to do something. Like, we got to get it out, but there's no point getting out if no one plays it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it's nice that they're delaying it. I'm like, what can they do to make it better? You know, because I feel like we've had a period, like a long period, where it's like games just come out for lukewarm receptions, and they're just like, okay, we write it off. The players were funny about, you know, it's the players' fault, or it's the devs' fault, or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they've delayed it. I'm like, but what can they do? What are they doing with this time? Like, are they adding new mechanics? Are they fixing bugs?
I can't imagine being at the helm of this project right now, and then being like, okay, we've delayed it. Everyone hates our game, but we've got all this, like, you know, dev time and assets and things built, and it's like, well, how do we put the fun? Where's the fun, guys? We got to find it before we release.
We've been making this game.
We're
making this game for 6 years. We now have 3 months to find fun.
Yeah, exactly. There's like a big whiteboard with just Assassin's Creed 4 written on it and circled a bunch of times. And every time someone comes in, they just circle it a little bit more.
Do you remember the guy that first announced this on stage, where he looked like a literal pirate? I think. He had like a big beard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was just gonna make a joke about how like, I probably shouldn't have hired an actual pirate to run this project.
They're saying like, go contact Disney, get Jack Sparrow in this game. He'll save it.
No, even Jack Sparrow can't save this. It's like people are saying it in chat as well. It's just like, I don't know how loud you have to shout. Just make Assassin's Creed 4 again. Before they actually do it.
But take the Assassin's Creed bit out. That's it. Yeah.
Just have it play like Assassin's Creed, but it's not Assassin's Creed, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But delayed again, March the 9th. So look forward to that. I guess that restarts all their marketing as well, because like I said, it's just...
Oh, yay, more trailers.
Can't wait till February when it gets delayed again.
Yeah, it's like we were saying with... was it Midnight Suns, that Marvel game?
Yeah.
Where it's like they were doing daily trailers of characters gearing up for a release. And then they were like, oh yeah, it's delayed like 3 months. And then it went silent. So, that's that one.
Poor guys.
Yeah.
Poor people, poor devs.
Yeah, literally
because for them, it's just like, all right, crunch extended for another 6 months. Good luck. And it's like, oh.
Oh yeah, you know they've been being told, like, I don't know, when was this due? Like November? Or something.
Yeah.
Soon. Yeah.
It's like, I know the crunch is horrific, but it's only until November.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, by the way, it's now until March, and also you have to keep working, otherwise you won't get your bonus.
Yeah.
I don't care that your wife's just given birth. Just keep crunching.
Jesus.
Yeah. You hear these stories, man. It's fucking horrible.
You're right. Yeah. You're right.
Last story of the night. This was what Steve put in, so Steve's going to talk about it.
Oh yeah, Cyberpunk has got 20 million viewers. No, not viewers, players now.
They're basically viewers because it's all from the anime.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because that anime has been doing so well, the game has picked up and people are playing it now and they're like loving it. Like they're like, oh, all the issues are fixed. And see, it's like, again, it's not going to be like the 10 out of 10 which people were thinking before it launched, but it's still like a solid game, and it's nice to see that. Because a lot of people had written this game off. And so it's nice to see that they've put some effort into it, and they have, and it's paying off. People are back on the Cyberpunk train.
I think this has attracted a lot of new people.
Yes.
And I think they're having fun with it. No one has gone back to this game and gone, oh, they fixed everything.
I have seen people do that, and even I'm like tempted to be like, oh, I could play Cyberpunk, because they've also just announced the new expansion for it coming soon.
Oh,
as well.
I have no doubt people have gone back to it. No one's going back to it going, wow, this game, they fixed it.
Yeah. I think it's like
Maybe.
the key thing I think about this is not about number of players, it's about number of copies sold, which is obviously indicating that people, they're new people are buying it. It's hitting new purchase milestones. I think I am within the subset of people where I knew this game obviously had problems and the launch was a mess. But I did always say to myself that like one day when it reaches like its best point, I will eventually jump in. And it's cheap. It's as good as it's going to get. I'll finally jump in just to see what it, even if it was still shit, right? Even out of morbid curiosity to jump in for £7.50 or something, I'd have a look. So
just to see what state it's in. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think I'll do the same one day.
Yeah, I think I just missed the sale on this. That's back up to full price on Steam. There'll be another one, but I've just missed the current one, so I'm not playing it anytime soon, which is a shame.
I'm honestly surprised they've not done a Game Pass or Xbox or
you said I think it was last week or at some point when we've been talking, where you said you could see this being like the surprise game for Christmas for like Epic Games Store or something.
Yeah, Epic Games always do like some really big games for like Christmas. So,
and I could actually completely see that as well. I could 100% see that as either like a surprise game at Christmas or like a stealth drop on Xbox Game Pass on PC. Just like, oh, here you go, fuckers. You can now play Cyberpunk.
I mean, people are watching the anime, they're really enjoying it. So a lot of people are buying the game now and playing it. And I feel like near the end, it would be like a good point to be like, oh yeah, and if you've enjoyed the anime, it's on X, because by then the people who are going to buy it, what
will happen? What they'll do is they'll drop it for free right before the expansion comes out. That's when it makes the most sense to do it, because you get a whole bunch of people play it. Like 3 weeks out of the launch of the expansion, and then you say, "Here's the expansion that costs, I don't know, £20, whatever it is."
Yeah,
that makes most sense to me.
Is there still more stuff coming for this game? They have announced
there's an expansion. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because it was supposed to be multiplayer at some point, right? Is that still on the cards, or is that?
I think that's been delayed to its own separate project now.
Right. Okay.
It is still coming, but it's a long way off, and it's its own thing.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
So, maybe. What's the new expansion called?
Oh.
I hate these fucky websites that don't scroll properly. Phantom Liberty, that was it.
Yeah.
That was the name of the expansion that's coming next year.
People are loving it. Like I've added a screenshot section to my Discord, and people are posting like it's all Cyberpunk in there at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, Cyberpunk is, regardless of what the game's like, just the genre is just as fucking cool.
Mm.
And this is, I guess, outside of like Deus Ex and stuff, there's not actually a lot of it, right?
Yeah, it's like
that's kind of it.
I always think it's funny. We were watching the anime, and they use the word cyberpunk like a title.
Yeah,
they'll say like,
you're
a cyberpunk.
Yeah,
and it's like, I don't know. That's like calling someone a western. You know,
you're
one of those westerns. Yeah,
we really are The Last of Us.
Yeah,
some kind of Suicide Squad.
yes. Yeah.
What are we? Some kind of Cyberpunk 2077? Oh, I don't think it's getting much better than that. So we'll start wrapping this up. Steve, what games are coming out?
Okay, so on the 4th we have the big one is Overwatch 2. Well, the patch.
Based. Good job, Steve.
Like even in the announcement, it's like we're fumbling this. What even is it? Like who cares?
Yeah. It's I played some Overwatch last night with some people, and it was because there are a few characters that are getting like changed beyond recognition. So it's like we'll play them, and it was actually a lot of fun. I'm kind of excited for
playing with people is fun though. That's
true. But I feel like because now it's going free to play, I feel like there's enough people that it's like we could probably get like a 5-stat, like a reliable, like more than 5 people want to play. We can always have like a 5-stat going.
I will download this game. I will download this game. I was talking to Laura about it earlier. We're going to play it on. When's it come out? Tuesday? We're going to try and get in on Tuesday and just play some games.
8 p.m. BST, 9 p.m. CEST.
Oh, that's America, late. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's American times.
Because you know the servers will be fucked as well.
Maybe, probably. But yeah, so that's coming out. That I'm pretty excited for that. There was not much out this week, so I did put one spooky game, maybe it's called Dread. It's hard to search for on Steam itself, but if you do it on the web browser, it's fine. Like Dread game.
Found it.
Dread on Steam, yeah. But if you type in Steam, it's like Dread Hunger. Do you want to play Dread Hunger?
Right, yeah.
This is a 1 to 4 player co-op horror survival. I was like, it might be fun. I don't know.
Is this Phantasmagoria again?
No, Phantasmophobia actually had drama this week where some like their Discord mods were being bad.
Oh, I don't care about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, this might be good. I don't know. It's just
it looks like scuffed horror indie. Every single indie game on Steam has the same picture, which is that one there. It's bloody crazy person screaming at camera.
Yeah,
but that is
another audience.
They do.
October 4th. On October 5th, we have Deathverse Let It Die.
Deathverse Let It Die.
Oh, I missed scuffed Steve releases. There's been too many good games coming out recently.
Yeah, look, this week it's not great. So this is a free-to-play battle royale.
Oh no!
I'm out.
The video made it look okay, but
it's just Destiny 2, right? That screenshot.
It looks like Chinese mobile Destiny 2.
Destiny 2.
It ain't good. Well, I don't know, but it's like, it might be.
How much money that guy has?
It's got a fucking Daft Punk helmet as well.
This is where Daft Punk ended up.
Best crossover. And then on October 6th, we have Priest Simulator.
I'm not Googling that. You're laughing whilst you say it.
Is Daft Punk in Fortnite yet? I don't care about whatever Steve just said. Is Daft Punk in Fortnite? I feel like that's a slam dunk.
I don't think so.
It should be, though, right? Like you say, it's like a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Priest Simulator.
Could you, because they've broken up, right? Could you even get them? Who would you go to for that?
Yeah, you say broken up. I think they literally exploded in a desert.
It did, yeah. It collapsed. Do you go to Daft or Punk?
You go to both.
This game
Punk Daft.
This game looks horrible.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
And that's it for the releases. It's a quiet
Wait,
week.
hold on. You missed one. That's Marauders is open beta literally tomorrow.
That's the one I forgot about.
The actual good game.
I was saying to Josh,
yeah.
I was saying to Josh, there's one game that I know was coming out, but I can't remember what it was. It was like some basic. Yeah, Marauders. Marauders is coming to Steam. We still don't know price.
20 something probably, I imagine.
20 something, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember for all those months where I said, no, I'm not buying into a beta. Guys, I might play into the beta.
He's gonna do it.
It looks really fun.
Well, you let me know if it's fun, and I might buy it as well. But I'm like,
he's gonna tell you it's fun because he wants co-op buddies.
He's gonna tell you and Sam.
I don't care. No, yeah, you're right.
How? Yeah, it's up to 3 other players.
Yeah, it's like, I assume it's 4-player co-op.
It looks to be.
Oh
yeah,
I think it is. I think it's 4 players. Yeah.
Up to 3 other. Just say 3 other players. Just say 4-player. Why am I so worked up? What's going on?
Why are you mad about that?
I don't know. Is that everything?
I think basically that's everything.
All right, let's wrap this up then. Thank you for listening, everybody. I hope you've had fun listening, and everyone listening on the audio version, YouTube, or live in chat. Thank you for sticking around. We'll do our socials, and we'll get out of here. As always, my name is BottlerWorks, which you can find me on everything under that name. All the good usual socials.
Everything.
Literally everything. Think of it, and I have an account on it called BottlerWorks.
Bebo.
Yes. That still exists.
Called my bluff. Fair enough.
Yeah, don't check
Pornhub.
it. Yeah, don't check that. And then what you will.
Olive Meister, you'll find me. You know where I am.
Yeah, and Steve.
Steve.
And Sam.
All right. I'm Sam. That's S4MM3H.
The actual proper, the only person that does the actual socials. Good job, Sam. Thank you for listening, everybody. Bye bye.
Sam tweeted, and then we all called him out on tweeting, and we scared him off, and he's not tweeted since.
Yeah, we flew too close to the sun.
No, I've been playing World of Warcraft on my week off. I've not had time for Twitter.
He's back now.
Have they added the selfie camera to WoW Classic yet?
I don't believe
No,
so.
that was
There's a
Draenor.
selfie camera in WoW.
Yeah,
it came
it's
out
a
in
toy.
Wall of the Draenor.
Yeah.
You can take
It's
selfies.
as shit as it sounds. All right, let's
Bye, everybody.
let's get out of here. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Oh.